comes down to glowing up, anybody can do it, and use it as motivation that's gonna turn into discipline, especially if it's not about something that you really see why you should be doing it or you're not encouraged to do it. So I say this to say motivation does have to be disciplined, because motivation does not always last. But the things I'm gonna tell you to be doing, 6 to be exact, is gonna help put these things into place where you're so disciplined that your emotions and feelings does not even matter, and then you'll be so glowed up that it's like, well, why would I go backwards? Like, I came this far, not to just come this far, right? What did Kim say? And where did she get it from? Now, let me get into the first thing. And honestly, I don't even want to say 6 down to 1 or 1 to 6. I just want to say watch until the end, because I'm telling you, everything I'm telling you today is gonna put effort in. And one last public announcement. Of course, give this video a big thumbs up. Appreciate that. So much love to you guys, and it means a lot, and it's free, and it helps your girl out. Now, public announcement is that anything you want in life, go get it. Like, no matter who tells you you can't, no matter how down you've been, no matter how much you've fallen off, go get it, because the only person that's stopping you is literally you, and you will have the same excuses your whole life if you do not change, and if you don't see what you got to start with, and that means stop listening to others. Now, first thing off the bat is routine. Take this in. You wake up, you check your phone. A lot of people do that, right? Check your phone right away. You might maybe text your friend, you get back to your friend, you might go get your lunch or go get your whatever you like to get, your food, go to a favorite place throughout the day. You have a routine already set into place. Oftentimes, it might be that this specific day is meant for this. It could be 1 or 2 days of the week. So this means when it comes down to the glowing up process, what are you not including in your routine? Reminder as well that it is going to come throughout time. So don't think so much of like, well, how could I do it now? It's about how are you taking steps to do it now? Just simply meaning that it's going to be so put into place when the time is aligned to, meaning that like it could be 3 months down the line. It does not matter when, but it's like, did you start? If you didn't start, that's your problem. That's literally your problem. There's nobody else to blame. So stop saying that something is not important enough to do or you're lazy to do it. That's you. You're a lazy person. So get up and do it. And that's also you letting people get in your head. You're letting, let's say, social media, if you're scrolling all day, negative things. It could be literally even listening to songs that are not helping you. Like they're just setting you back or put you in a specific mood, right? And everybody is going to be different. You got to still find what works for you. But it's just so important to recognize what needs to be put into place. So just think of one simple thing that you need to go ahead and add into your routine. Now, I'm going to get into number 2 now, but I'm going to bounce back and forth, especially from like all the other ones too. But the first 1 and 2 is compared, or let's say match with each other, because they still kind of need to be put into place. So that means one thing could be, let's say you just want to get up early, or let's even say that you want to, let's say, make more friends. You could feel like you're an antisocial person, or you might even feel like you have too many friends. You want to know your real friends, or just have less, or not give them so much time. So first things first is writing it down. Part of your routine, if you're starting something new, I feel like being somebody that can see it is going to help you. Like just being a visual learner, there's a lot of people that are like that, right? If you don't want to do it, I'm still going to highly recommend it, and I'm nearly just going to tell you, just do it. Could be on anything. Maybe you're already doing things on your notes. Maybe you send yourself your own text messages to your number. I do that. And then you could also have a friend. If you also have an accountability partner, whether it's your friend, somebody you're with, a family member, have them help you out as well, because you should have support. If it's not real, genuine support, then also that might be something that you need to take out of your routine. Stop giving people your energy, wasting your energy on time on people that like will not get you anywhere. Now let's just look back onto how the number 1 thing is going to be written down, falling into your routine. So I gave you already examples in the beginning on things that might be related back to you, might be your situation that you got to be putting in the effort towards that. So it could be anything, and then try not to like overwhelm yourself and have like 5 different things, especially because if you're one of those people that like feel like you're a go-getter, or let's even say if you are somebody that feels like you're an overachiever, sometimes you can really discourage yourself out really quickly or burn yourself out, because you might be so motivated, not disciplined, but just simply motivated and thinking that it's gonna happen. And before you know it, you're poofed out and it's not happening, not even close to how long you wanted it to. So I really say focus on like 1, 2 things. If you could bring it down to like, yes, one, or it could be just something that you've been doing already and you want to just keep working on that and then move on, meaning that you might already have other things in your routine that you want to have still going on. So let me give you one more example. It could also be something like you want to start something new. So it could be maybe the fact that you want to spend less time back to your phone, but just think about something that you do too much that is not bettering you. So it could be like literally chatting with somebody or literally getting distracted, daydreaming. What you want to do now is realize that there is a solution. Once you recognize the solution for your specific problem, I had a hiccup there. Once you recognize it, pair it with that specific thing that you're going to be adding to your routine. So I could write down like, oh, I want to make sure that I look presentable, something like that. Then I gotta put the solution is that I'm gonna make sure I at least have this brushed out, this cleaned out, this looks like this, and it'll go so on and so on, etc., etc. And then that's what I have to follow and live by. Now, part of your routine, let's say you have a morning routine, it could be brushing your teeth, washing your face, however it goes, shower, however you like to do it, and then you gotta at some point put it in there. Now, before I get into number 3, another thing that will really help you out with your glow up process is also doing the things that you don't want to do right away. Now, I'm going to bring this to like a separate video because I don't want to spend the whole video explaining this because this is really a key thing, but I want to just throw it in now because it'll help you have things set into your routine. So if you already know that you got to get this done right away, you also know that it's important to you, but you know how much you hate doing it, or hate is a strong word, but some of y'all really hate doing specific stuff that you got to better your glow up in your future, right? You're doing everything now for your future, for the outcome that you don't see, but because your faith is so strong, you know it's gonna actually play out, you know it's gonna work out for the greater good regardless. So don't think so much on like, oh my gosh, this is such a drag. Just think about like, I'm gonna start it, and even if I end up like cutting it short a little bit, or I can't get it through all the way like I normally do, it's the attempt. The attempt is always gonna matter. Now let me get into number 3, and number 3 is just something you might have heard already, but I feel like it's very effective. This is just affirmations, because you just don't want to be somebody that is discouraging yourself out already and putting in your head that it's impossible to go ahead and do what you're trying to do, right? Like I've said in my other previous videos that if you feel like you can't actually make it happen, you already put limiting beliefs into your system and it's just subconsciously there, so it's nearly impossible for you to like outwork your brain. Let's put it like that. Like your brain is what's actually helping you function, apart from like your heart and stuff, but it means that you can't actually set yourself back automatically, subconsciously, right? So affirmations are going to be very effective at night and in the morning. And as I said in the beginning of the video, really go ahead and make sure you write these things down. This is actually going to be my next thing, but I'm just going to say it now because it's just so important that you actually see it. Now, the next thing to include it into now as well is like physically seeing something. So physically seeing something is just going to help you so much. And y'all, comment your experience so far, or even a setback that you find like it's hard to actually do and then it sets you back, and things that just get in the way. And also, if you have other tips and advice for other people, make sure you let it be known, because I'm sure it could help out so many. It could probably even help me out. Now let me get into the number 4, and then let's get into the number 5 very quickly. I want to make sure I get through everything and then go over the other stuff that I want to add more details to. But as I was saying, that when you can actually see it, is gonna be a game changer, because now like it's envisioned in your brain, it's envisioned in your mind. It's almost like your brain can't tell you like if it's real or not. Obviously, if you're telling yourself like, oh, this is not real, it didn't happen, that's another thing that's going against your affirmations. You should be letting yourself know like, oh, it's happening, I'm great, like I made it, I love all this money that I have, I love the way I look gorgeous. Again, once more, it's so important not to also be lying to yourself if it's actually you not putting efforts in, because that's going to be a form of discouraging yourself out, and it's going to make you feel like, okay, well, I keep saying I'm going to do something, or I am this, but I have not been seeing it in real life. So I just simply mean that you're trying to stay as positive as possible and trying to like have have yourself speed up the process, to put it like that. So that would mean that you put things into place, you have the vision in mind, you know what you're working towards, you already believe it's happening, your faith becomes strong, and those steps are naturally just going to keep growing, and then the results are going to start showing. And being very patient is going to be just a virtue, as many people know, but it's just so important to remember, like, being patient, and even if you fall off or you cut short, or let's even say like are moments that you just don't know what to do, you want to go backwards, try your best not to fall back, because falling short is going to happen, and we're all going to fall in some way, but it's really about how deeply you fall, and also how quick can you get back up, and how much are you trying to as well, because effort is always going to matter as well. And as you probably heard it before too, doing everything intentionally is very important, because there's a huge difference between you're not actually doing it from knowing that this is something like you really enjoy, you really want real results, you genuinely want a future with it, you definitely want it to be sincere, right? So if you're just doing it to like go ahead and do it in a mediocre way, like, best believe it's going to catch up to you somehow, and then at that point it's going to be probably even harder to just like come out of it. So it's just better like taking your time, being patient to get it done. Now I have so many tips, because it's just so funny to me that like as I'm talking, I'm thinking of like, oh well, I didn't write this down and I didn't really think about talking about this, but I want to mention it. That's the only reason why I'm going to go through everything pretty quickly, and then in my other videos, and of course with questions that you have, drop it down below, I will go ahead and cover these other things. But for now, let's just go ahead and move on to the number 6. And a lot of this stuff is just going to be the back and forth, and so number 6 is going to be actually number 1 for a lot of people, and it's actually number 1 for me. But the only reason why I put it at last and it's really number 1 for me is because I have so many videos that I go on, and especially for the people that are subscribed, I do want them to recognize, like, yes, the actions that you put, but your belief is always going to matter. And so that is definitely having a relationship with God. I feel like it gives you such a greater purpose, because when you know that you're doing it for a reason, and you know that the love that you have from God is so sincere and it's so real, and your faith can grow through that. And also back to like falling short, the forgiveness that could happen and repenting and all that. I know also people have different beliefs and stuff like that, but this is just something that's so important for me. I feel like the biggest glow up comes from knowing why you're doing something, knowing your why is always going to be important, and then also just having faith in general, because you can't really see what's the outcome, or sometimes you might doubt yourself, or you feel like you've tried so long and it's not getting anywhere. The faith has to still remain, because it's just you being tested, but also it's you saying to yourself, like, I believe, right? Like it's greater than me, let's just put it like that. And like when you also seeking God, because I believe in prayer, because I believe in fasting, because I believe in ask and you will receive, I do feel like putting these things into practice generally will help you throughout life. Now again, it might not apply to everybody. There's some people that don't care for this part, but I do want to also add that like the Bible is very important to me. So I feel like if you are reading the word, it's almost like applying into your life. Those rules that you got to live by, those instructions that we have to go and follow, is really going to help you understand like there's a purpose to life. There's a reason why you're still breathing. There's something that you got to be doing. And as much as you're going to have a lot of downfalls, bad days, it's everything that we all experience. Like there's nobody on earth that has it where it's never been the same, where it's never been like, oh, so bad. There's none of that. You're going to have maybe less or worse days than another person. You might not be as motivated or disciplined or encouraged. You might not even be as focused as somebody else, but it's definitely that you're going to still have positive days than another day. I said this in my other video as well, and I'm only bringing it back up because you really got to remember that you're truly not alone. And it's always reminding yourself that like, it's not a give up time. It might be, yes, the pause, and everybody never wants to go ahead and have a stagnation happening. Everybody wants to move forward. Like we have so many things that we want to go ahead and do, but we are going to be loving our comfort sometimes. We are going to love, let's just say, our environment remaining the same, because new things and changing and transforming and getting out of your comfort zone can be very much scary, and fearfulness will set you back. But also we know God has not given us a heart of fearfulness. And so just really try to put things into place starting now. Don't just hesitate. And don't even just say tomorrow, or don't even just say in 5 hours. Just say, I watch this video and I'm gonna go do this. Like simply, you might be on your phone or your laptop. You're gonna have another option to go ahead and write or go ahead and type out in some way, right? You're gonna have a keyboard or a pen or something. use that now to your ability. Don't continue to make excuses. And with everything else that I mentioned in this video, it's also very important that you do every single step. Now, in my upcoming videos, just to give you a little insight on what to expect, I will talk about other things that you have to put into place. I love obviously telling people that like confidence is going to make a huge difference, but also remember, not everybody is going to have confidence right away, and not everybody has a confident day every day. It's very much normal. So I would say that to say, like, there are certain things like hacks, techniques that also need to be done, put into place, because it will help you just as much. And let me just give you another example. I know this video can go on and on, but I just want to give you a good clarity on like these things are really important. And it's just back to visual stuff. Like, if you could see that something looks good and in your mind you believe it looks good, so it could be literally an item that you don't like to actually look at or do. If you add something to it that you like, it could be your image to it, your best looking picture. You're gonna go back to it to remind yourself. So compare it to affirmations. If you find like reading affirmations or reminding yourself of affirmations is boring or is very hard to, put yourself in the position of like, what do I always like to look at? It could literally even be like your closest friend, and it could be that your closest friend wants you to, you know, tell her about this image that you guys are supposed to talk about. Set it into place that you have that image, and then you have your affirmations in the corner, because you're gonna trick yourself to be like, well, I'm looking at this image already, I should be saying the affirmations that come with the image. And then that's gonna make you go ahead and be like, well, I have to do it. There is no choice. Like, when you're in survival mode, you do it. There's no other way. There's no other options. There's no other road to take. So you have to go literally that exact specific way. So I say that to say, like, if you're noticing that you're not doing anything now, you're noticing that you really got to do something right now, let's just put it like that. There's no more excuses. You want this year to still be your year. You want to have a change in your life. You're done with the excuses. You want to have like a better day, do it. And like, I also remember so many times where I've had moments of like discouragement and just not knowing myself, or just feeling like how do I go from here? But I just realized in life, like, we all have these moments, and we're gonna have it in different ways as well. Things do repeat itself that you don't want to, but it's always, as I said already, going ahead and going forward and not stopping and not giving up on yourself. So don't be so harsh. Give yourself grace. Remember that you're going through this life at your pace. You're going through it in your journey. Do not compare. Do not look at others and be like, I gotta be like this, or why can't I have this, or this is not fair. Really change your output and really change your idea on how you view life and how you view yourself. So I will bring this video back up. I'm not sure when, but maybe pretty ASAP, because I would have made this video honestly extremely long for the amount of stuff that I also still want to mention, but I just don't want to drag it out. And since I got my actual things that I wanted to say out, we're going to leave it at this. If you guys do want a part 2 or other specific videos, please let me know in the comment section. And of course, if you still haven't given this video a big thumbs up, it helps your girl so much. It helps more people to see this video. It pushes the video, I guess, a little bit. We know how the algorithm be sometimes, but no, for real, it does definitely still help out. No like is definitely not better than a like, so give me a like. Thank you in advance. But yes, thank y'all so much for watching until the end as well. And that's it for this video. Bye, y'all.